The Newcastle United players have arrived at the training ground today for a family fun day put on by Eddie Howe. Families, friends, players are at the training ground today. Barbecues, bit of fun, trying to build a bit of morale, trying to build a little bit of happiness across the squad after what has been a very tough summer off the pitch. But Alexander Isak has not been invited and instead will attend the training ground later on this afternoon once everybody else has gone home to have private discussions with Eddie Howe and other Newcastle United officers. As well, with Cesco looking like he's heading off to Manchester United, a new striker has been linked to Newcastle this morning, so we will talk about him. And, of course, just to add to all the fun we're having at the moment, Newcastle have had another bid rejected for a different player this morning. Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. God, the nightmare just continues, doesn't it? Seriously. We will start off with the reports coming out this morning that Newcastle turned their attention to Malik Thiaw, AC Milan centre-back. It's not a new name. As I've mentioned, it has been a running joke on this channel that Eddie Howe opens his drawer and flicks back through his list of previous summer windows, but it is literally on repeat. At one point, I quite liked the idea of having this kind of set list, Eddie Howe's preferred player options, but at some point, it will be nice to hear someone a little bit different. But anyway, the reports coming out from Italy have been that Newcastle placed a £26 million bid for Malik Thiaw, centre-back, and Italy quite quickly reported, Gazzetta, that the bid had been rejected. Now, down on the ground at Newcastle, Daily Mail reporting and a few others that talks have begun, but no official bid has been placed yet. So, yeah, look, it's another player that we've reportedly been interested in for a while. Centre-back is definitely a position we need to strengthen. We are out looking to try and make that happen. Once again, however, Newcastle bidding €30 million, reportedly AC Milan want 40. So once again, going in with low, not low ball, but lower than the asking price, trying to save a few quid, or bidding what Newcastle believe to be our valuation of the player. Well, we need to get a new valuer in because we've had this all season, offering under the market value or under what teams are asking for the player. It leads to things taking forever because you have to meet this, you have to meet that. It's not done quick enough. Strangely enough, the one player that I think we actually tried to move quickly on was Sesko, and it still hasn't worked out. Reports coming in, obviously, that Manchester United matched our bid as of yesterday and that Manchester United appears to be his preferred move. Jamie Rubin heading out there to try and make things work, going in with a bid, They didn't even reject our offer. We just increased the bid anyway because it was like, just get this deal done. Reports are that we kind of knew we was interested in Manchester United for a while now, but Newcastle were hoping if we pushed hard enough, put the money up front, offered the deals, that we would get it to go through. However, he has, the reports still are that he's agreed terms with both teams and we're waiting to hear, but realistically, the noise coming now is that he prefers Manchester United. And I think the writing was on the wall, to be honest, because the reports were that our bid had been submitted 2 weeks ago. But he still hadn't done it yet. So at that point, the red light is flashing. This isn't going the way we want it to go. And look, we've had it a few times with the three with Manchester United. Mbuemo wanted 300 grand a week. Cunha wanted however much a week. Cesco, the reality is, fair enough, you can talk about, Newcastle having Champions League. Well, they've got, I guess, grown up as a kid, the previous rich history of winning trophies, still a very big name in the football, arguably one of the biggest names in the world of football. However, they're offering twice the wages we are. If you're a 22-year-old lad and you're coming over to England and someone's offering you twice the wage, like, I appreciate 150 grand or even 200 grand. You know, the reports were that Newcastle were offering, like, to break our wage structure for him. It still would have been max 200. Like, we aren't offering him 300 grand, and it's just stung us. It stung us with Delap. It's same with Pedro. Like, I'd love to say that these play, like, look at Delap. He's got in there. He's going to be third choice striker. He could have come in, wore the number 9 for us, and been number 1 player this season. Like, there you go. Just offers you first team Champions League football, and he's turned it down because he wants to get paid double at another team. And this is the real tough standoff with Newcastle United, because I'll argue to some degree what we've done with our transfers up till this window, I've quite liked. The likes of bringing in Dan Burn, absolutely awesome. Local lad coming in, reasonable wages, getting Champions League football. Turning Joe Linton around, Gordon, even Elanga coming in this window, 60, 70 grand, wants to come in, wants to play with Isak. Doesn't look like that's happening, Elanga. Sorry about that. But yeah, having players want to join us just without having to pay ridiculous money. But we've just been totally... and that philosophy had worked up to now, I say that. We've had 3 months where we've not bought anyone, so really it hasn't worked. But there was an element of that I liked. However, you cannot argue that philosophy has totally ripped us a new one this summer. It just has not worked at all. We've gone in with the big boys, and we've been flushed down the toilet, really. We have been... yeah, and then again, so that's the thing. The lesson here is, you know, if you're going to try and play with the big boys, you've got to bring the money to the table. You have to bring it. Like we've tried. Yeah, can't even get my words out. This was going to be a positive video. I'll try. Well, can it be at the minute? Not really. Trying to make it feel positive anyway. You can't walk into the Dragon's Den, you know, with like a little hand knife, like like a pen. You have to bring it, and we really haven't. We've tried to rely so heavily on, well, it's Champions League, you know, and well, you know, we needed to bring the big guns, and we failed to do that. So either we shop in the lower market and do that, you know. No offence to Elanga, Nottingham Forest, he's come for Champions League football. That was the win there. When you've got like Cesco, João Pedro, some of the names who are getting scouted by a lot of big teams like Mbuemo, they can go to any one of the top 5 English clubs. You know, where do we want to be? Because we're down here money-wise, but we're shopping up here. So either we'll bring the money or we'll shop down here. And we've not done that. And that's just created this ridiculous summer. And you've got to put some blame on Alexander Isak as well. The club have been a shambles, but there's no denying that when we started this window, the priority targets were centre-back, centre-mid, maybe a right winger, which we've actually done, so we'll cheer about that. Backup striker. We've had to totally change our plans this window to priority striker, new striker. The time spent on Sesko, the time spent on everybody else, the list that long, I can barely even remember who we were trying to get last, is because Alexander Isak's wanting to head out the door, and it looks like that. Well, I'll tell you what, it's looking less and less likely by the day, because Newcastle cannot pull in muscle, never mind sign a striker, and the reports are that Isak has not joined Eddie Howe and the players this morning at the training ground. That's right, as I mentioned at the start of this video, Eddie Howe has tried to bring a little bit of joy back to Newcastle United somehow. Sell a cup on Friday. I'm there, by the way, so if you're not subscribed, be sure to go and hit the red button. I will be at the game on Friday, back in St James Park. I'm excited for it, strangely enough. I'm looking forward to being back there. Who plays and what happens is another bloody story, but I'm excited for the football to start again. I think I'm just excited for this window to end, to be honest. That's what I'm actually... And if the football starts, it means we're not too far away from it. Alexander Isak was not invited to the family fun day. Someone said in the WhatsApp, Alexander Isak's got no family or friends left after the way he's behaved this season, summer, and I can't argue with that as well. So the reports are that I think the players might have got in a bit early, done a bit of a training session, the family came in, barbecue, bit of fun. That's the thing, all the noise on the outside is just fire at the minute. It is mental. On the inside, they'll obviously be miffed because we've not done enough. They'll be miffed with Alexander Isak, but got to think, Bruno, Dan Burn, Joe Linton, Trippier, playing pool, playing pranks on social media, they seem all right. You know, is that a brave face? Possibly. But, you know, my hope is that this was meant to be a transformative summer. We haven't done it. The biggest transformation will be if Alexander Isak leaves, and that is what we potentially might be more clear on after this afternoon's crunch talks with Eddie Howe. So we've been waiting for this really, Monday, Tuesday, it's now Wednesday, and it's thought that Isak will have the conversation with Eddie Howe later on this afternoon. God knows what he's going to say, because like literally at any point leading up till now, it was thought it was going to be, well, we've bought this person, we've bought that person, so we're going to let you go. I honestly do not know. The only thing I can think that Eddie Howe will say, if I'm Eddie Howe, is, you are a Newcastle player. We want to try and sell you. We have tried to sell you. We cannot find a backup for you. Therefore, until that happens, you will remain a Newcastle United player and you will train with the Newcastle United squad. The only thing I can hope that is if he's... And look, you tell me down below. You might be going, look, Rob, I don't want him anywhere near. Don't want him in. Don't want him anywhere near. Get him in the reserves. Like, what are the bookies' odds on Isak staying at Newcastle? What are the odds on Isak staying at Liverpool, going to Liverpool? What are the odds on Isak lining up for the reserves next season? Because that's a possibility as well. Eddie Howe might be like, you know what? Screw you. We're not letting you anywhere near this side. But I think if he stays, what other option has he got to do than knuckle down and play for Newcastle United again? Because unless, God forbid, Newcastle find a striker, God forbid. The reports are that Newcastle's next target is Nickolas Jackson of Chelsea. Now, forgive me if I don't explode with joy on that one, because he really has not hit the mark at Chelsea, and that is the reason they're trying to sell him. Reports are around 50, 60 million. The trouble is, realistically, is that the type of players we were kind of linked with up till now, well, first of all, the quality was there. So basically, Alexander Isak is up here. Alexander Isak is up there. He is that elite player who should really be on that elite money. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to replace him with that player. But we are putting the money in. So now we're left here. We're back down here again. Probably the players that are good, but maybe aren't here yet. So... like, there just isn't a comparison. It just isn't there. We've had our chances up here. We've missed out on all of them. We're now going to shop down here. And down here is probably... and that's harsh. I would actually go as far as say is realistically, it's more the type of player. Nickolas Jackson, Ramos from PSG, Watkins. Like, they are good players, but... they're not the type of player Newcastle would typically go for. We're essentially now getting at the bottom of a list where it's like, do we just buy him to replace Isak? And I think that's what we'll learn more of after this afternoon. Because I think Eddie Howe will know where we are, and he'll know the list of players that we've gone through that he hoped would be a good replacement, and we haven't been able to find one. Of that list, if I'm honest, I would favour Watkins. I think if we brought Watkins into our side this window, I think he scores goals. I honestly believe with Watkins playing for us all year, Premier League, he's not favoured at Villa. I think he would bag goals for us, you know. Put him on penalties like Isak was. I think he'll score loads of goals. But he's 29 and they want 60 million for him. So in 2 years' time, like it just doesn't. Where are we? Like. If we desperately need to get a deal done, then I don't mind Watkins, but it's a clear end of the line. You know, no one else has splashed 50, 60 million on Watkins. Why? It's been available all summer. It's because in 2 years' time he'll be worth half of that, if not less, because of his age, and you never know what's going to happen next. So There you go. That was the update. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As I say, I will be at the game on Friday against Espanyol. Stood back in St. James's again. Few beers, little bit of fun. Maybe a few little wins at St. Hang on, I got it wrong. It's not Espanyol. It's Atletico Madrid. Even better. Espanyol's on the Saturday. So yes, back at St. James's Park on Friday for Atletico Madrid. Simeone. Yeah, I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the lads, having a beer, Friday night, back in St. James's. I'm in the Gallagher, so if you spot us, come over and say hello. Subscribe. I'm hoping to have a little bit of content for it. But yeah, the Cesco stuff's just gone on too long. The season starts a week on Saturday. We need a centre-back. We need 2 centre-backs. We need a centre midfielder. And we need to work out this striker situation as well. There you go. Talked a little bit longer than I planned there, but I hope you have enjoyed what was a bit of an update across quite a few things there. And if you want more updates in future, again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see what Eddie and Isak have to say later on, and I'll catch you later.